Okay, so let me go really quick here through, yeah, 30%, like I said, might not be your target. I'm just using that as an example here. Um, so what you would do is, in other words, is you're going to filter for performing and non-performing. So in this case, like say I want to filter for anything that's above 60, up to the moon, right? So let's go 60 up to 120. So let's do that. All right, so then we apply filter again. And then once again, we're going to get a list of keywords. So here we got 38 entries that are fairly high. Now, in this case, if our target ACOS is, 30%, then we're probably going to want to go down like minus 50 here. So minus 50, we'll hit that. So what you're doing here is you're optimizing both for performing and non-performing keywords by filtering for ACOS. Now, now that we've got the bid changes here, we did this only on broad. So now you'd want to go back and do the same process again, and you'd get rid of broad, and then you'd go to phrase and exact, and you'd do the same filtering. Now, the other thing that's really cool, which is really useful, is like Amy was saying, if you have an ACOS of 0, right? So let's say we want an ACOS 0, and we'll keep the spend the same. Now, this is also cool for getting rid of keywords that aren't performing. So right now, okay, so see here, we got 67 keywords in my wonderful account here. Luckily, I just ran this tool like yesterday that are not performing. So you can see here that we've got spend. All of these have spent over $5, and we've got 0 orders. So we'll click through here. 0 orders, 0 orders, 0 orders. So this is what's really cool here is we can set an account minimum bid. One of my favorites for my account level is 11 cents. So I could say 11 cents on all 67 of these keywords. And actually, I want to add broad back into this group. So we want to say, okay, any keywords that have spent $5 and gotten, you can put the click level in there, or you can do the spend, or you can combine them. Generally, spend is a good amount, or click is a good amount. Let's do clicks too. Let's do that instead. So you can say, let's say 10 clicks. It just depends on your strategy. Once again, if you want to do either clicks or spend, if you have a super high cost per click product, you probably want to do clicks, because if you do spend of $5 and you're paying $3 a click, that's not going to work too.
So what you're doing now, Andy, is your first thing that you're doing is you're filtering for anything in your campaign that has had between 10 and
infinity clicks,
9,000 clicks, right?
Right. Yep. And this is my entire account. Now you can pick. Here's all my campaigns. They're all called the same because I edited the sheet. But you can pick a specific campaign if you just want to, do a specific campaign in a specific ad group. You can filter it here. I'm doing it for my entire account. So it's up to you how you guys want to do it. If your products vary greatly on target ACOS. For us, like majority of our products are pretty close on our target ACOS. So generally,
what about though the filters that you haven't set? So for example, what about those things that are maybe at 5 clicks or below? Are those not going to get optimized then?
Well, right. So you're filtering. Generally, you don't want to, like I was talking about before, is, if you have less than 10 clicks,
data yet.
You don't have enough data yet. So that's why you want to filter those out. Yep. So,
okay.
Yep. So what right here, we've now filtered 10 clicks and, and with 0 ACOS, we've got 66 entries. So I'm going to say, okay, I want 11 cents because these keywords are technically not converting for me and just spending money. I'm going to do 90 minus 99%, which is what it's going to do is now set every keyword in this list to 11 cents. So I'll go ahead and do that, hit update data. You can see here now that everything's set at 11 cents. What this is going to do is these keywords now are going to still possibly show, but if they do show, or if they do get clicked, you're only going to pay 11 cents. So you still have an opportunity here to let these keywords run to get a larger data set further on, so that possibly one of these keywords might convert, like say a month from now. Maybe you're only getting 5 clicks a month now because your bid's so low, but you get that conversion. Now all of a sudden it pops back up in your radar when you filter here again, it'll pop up as a performing keyword. So now you're going to optimize that bid back up again. So
Well, remember, sometimes keywords are seasonal, right? Like you had a
exactly.
weird keyword about the Grammys in there. Well, that might convert better during Grammy time, right?
Right. Exactly. So that's how
Or
you
if
want to
you're
do it.
selling a summer product, your keywords might, keywords that didn't work in the winter might work really good in the summer. So you want to make sure you aren't completely pausing them because you might get that data later.
Exactly. Now, okay, so now what we've done here is we've gone through and we've filtered our performing stuff and we've adjusted bids up for those, and then we've filtered for stuff that's not performing and adjust bids down for those. Now that we've got that, we went to keywords that have spend but have zero sales, and now we've adjusted those down. So we've done kind of three things in a very short time to optimize a bunch of different aspects of your account. And so when people are like posting on groups like, oh, I've got an ACOS of like 100% or whatever, just using this tool and this filtering, you'll be able to get that ACOS down really quickly by boosting your performing keywords and getting rid of your non-performing keywords. That's kind of the basis of PPC, and this automates it. That's why we built this tool, is because it's now taking stuff that would take hours to filter and change in Seller Central and doing it for you extremely quickly. Now, we've already spent a ton of time here. I'm just going to show you one more thing on this really quickly. Actually, I'll show you two really other quick things really quickly. But anyway, so we're going to get rid of our match types, and then we're going to change here from, see it says keyword, we're going to now change to products. Now, we're going to do that. We would do this exact same process on the product. So we want, ACOS between 1 and 10, or whatever, however you're doing this, whatever your target ACOS is.
And real quick, Andy, Lori wants to know, do you recommend using this tool once a week, not more or less? And yeah, we've mentioned once a week I like to let mine run like 10 days. But
Yep. Once a week. The thing is you can actually use this tool more often than you can, than doing the changes on Seller Central. Because you're using a large, really large data set, like 60 days worth of data. So technically you could do it as little as every 3 days, but I don't recommend it, especially if you're not super experienced. I would say definitely like I said, every Monday evening or even Tuesday, because you can then use the previous week or the previous 30 days data. So that's probably where you'd want to use this. Now, okay, so we're going to go to targeted products or target products, and let's say we want target products between 1 and didn't show anything when I did by clicks, because a lot of these what I've noticed, I don't know if you've noticed this, Amy, on your product targeting, some have very few clicks but a ton of sales, which is interesting. But that just means they're super relevant. So okay, so we did ACOS between 1 and 20, and we got some 48 entries here. So if my target ACOS is 30 in this case, like I said, it's different for you guys, but in this case it was 30. I might want to adjust these bids up, right? So let's see here. So in this case, I've got a max at 20. Let's raise these bids by 25%. Wait, hold on, I want to see what my max is. We'll sort by max. 246 is the current max. I'm going to go up to 250 minimum. Like I said, this is just a get out of jail free filter. This is just so like you don't end up getting some kind of crazy bid. Like if you put like 225 in here by mistake, that's so you don't completely hose your account and get something crazy by doing that. That's what these are. These are your safety lines. All right, so we're going to hit update data. Now we've just updated our data for our product targeting. You can see we've updated the max bid from the previous bid. Once again, you would step through this just like I showed you on the other ones. Filter ACOS by performing and not performing ACOS, and then reduce or raise bids. And then once again, we'd also want to do the 0, right? So we'd want to do 0. Now on this, like I said, very few clicks convert. So you might want your filters lower on this. But right here, you can see, look at this. I've got 5,118 entries that have, it's actually some of these don't have any clicks. So let's filter up. Let's say at least 5 clicks. This gives you an idea of how big my account is though, right, Amy?
This is why you created these tools, Andy.
That is why.
You were getting out of control over here.
Okay,
I would not want to optimize your campaigns manually.
No, not at all. Okay, so here we did. I said we've got at least. I think I did 5 clicks, and what we do here, 5 clicks and 0 ACOS. So here's 176 entries that I've spent money on, some a lot of money on, that I've gotten no sales on. So in this case, once again, what I'd want to do is I'd want to set my minimum bid. In this case, 11 cents is probably good. I've actually already got some here. You can see that are 11 cents, which means that I've probably already done this. So I've got my minimum bid of 11, and these are not performing, but I'm spending money on them, but they still might have possibility. So I'm going to go minus 99 again. I'm going to hit update data, and you'll see all of these should change to 11 cents. There you go. So you go through these steps once a week, which will probably take you, I mean, once you get it down, to me, it takes me like 10 minutes, if that, maybe 20 minutes. If you try to do this manually in Seller Central, you're talking hours. And the way that they have it set up is extremely hard to understand. This might seem a little overwhelming, but once you actually kind of get it down, it's really quick and easy. And what I'm actually going to do, what I've decided is I'm going to actually do a kind of like an SOP for this tool. So it'll literally say, like, if your target ACOS is this much, I suggest that you filter from this to this, go to the next step, do from this to this. That's kind of what our auto tool does automatically. It's just that the auto tool is relying on an algorithm which doesn't always see, everything. A computer, at least nowadays, is still never going to be better than the human eye when it comes to seasonality, all the different factors that go into it. So if you can learn how to use this tool on the advanced tab, I highly suggest it, because you're going to get really, really good results. Now, I tested this tool against some of the automatic PPC tools out there. I'm not going to name any names because I don't want to bash them. But I set some of my campaigns on automatic autopilot with this automatic, with some of the tools that do it automatically, and the results were, by ACOS, there was a difference of 20% in ACOS. That's all I'm going to say, because, like I said, the algorithm is never going to be as good as a human. So if you can learn the basics of this, this is really, really going to help you get a big return on your money. All right, really, really quick. Before we go, I'm going to show you one other cool trick here. Let's do our famous watermark.
So wait, Lori was asking. So Lori, she wants to know, how does the change you make in Seller SEO actually get back to the Seller Central page? So all he does is he clicks that download updated Excel button.
Yep, right here.
And that creates a spreadsheet, and then you just go to Seller Central, to your campaign manager, to bulk operations.
So this
and you click
upload
the upload button.
Yeah, so
and it automatically updates your campaigns for you. But I usually go back in and check them just to double check, make sure that they're not paused or anything, because maybe I hit the pause toggle button or something. But yeah, it's instantaneous. It's like within 30 seconds it's updated.
Yeah, and the other cool thing too is if you use the auto tool, I'm actually not sure on the advanced tool. I can't remember, but I know on the auto tool we did this just to make sure, because we know that people using the auto tool would be inexperienced. When you download the Excel file, if you open it up, it'll actually be color coded. So when you scroll through your keywords, it'll have green for when we've raised the bid and red for when we've lowered the bid. So you can actually go through visually and see the changes that we've made to kind of just like check and balance. Another thing to remember, especially when using automated tools, even if you're using like, some of the other fully automated tools, is set a max campaign or a max account budget in your Seller Central account. And what this will do is, in case you somehow fudge this, right, and you set like a $10 $10 bid, and you have like a huge budget on something that you did by mistake, that's going to be kind of a stopgap, a secondary stopgap on your account to make sure that you don't end up, doing something crazy. It's just kind of like a, like a oh shit safety net. And how you can do that is in Seller Central, there's an option that just says set account budget level, and you just would set that. So like, once again, it depends on your spend. For us, it's like $1,500. For most of it, it's probably be a lot less than that, maybe 100 or 50 or whatever. Go ahead and set that before you use this tool. Highly suggest that, just because then if you muck something up, you don't have to be afraid that, at the worst, you're going to spend $50 and have to go back and fix it. But we've done, because we've built in these kind of, broad and the minimum and maximum bid kind of into the tool. We did that because of that reason. We really wanted to try to make it, really hard to muck up that bad. So